Hello guys, it's that Panda again. I'm here again with another video, and today we're going to be looking at the Island Raid brackets, and I will try to give a quick review and rundown of how the brackets went, as I don't want to spend too much time on this video, and I will probably go through some of the stuff that happened in the brackets that I know about, like G1, G4. I know like G2, G3, a little bit less interesting this time around. I thought G3 was even more interesting. I don't have like a lot of information on all these brackets, as I actually wasn't very I wasn't watching a lot. I was kind of more so fighting in G1 and not so I was kind of occupied, right? And there was also just the fact that I was kind of sick, so I just was too tired to be looking around on my free time. But yeah, that being said, we're going to be looking at G1. So G1 kind of was interesting. We ended up winning first place. Arkham got fourth place. They were supposed to get third, but AOW just freaking snatched that. And then we had AC18. They got second place. It was a three-way alliance between Boone, Arkham, AC18. TBZ kind of got in on that. I wouldn't call it an alliance, but we did end up helping them to prevent them getting their village snatched and stuff. But yeah, Boone basically built directly through mid, and we were trying to go around and actually wrap around to block off HMB, because what HMB did is they didn't go for their village at all. These guys simply built from their helipad all the way up to around here-ish or something on our flank, and they were trying to actually cut us off, I think. And I think this could have worked better if they maybe aimed in front of the outpost to kind of slither around it and hold us in. But even then, I think that we might have still beaten them. We also had been using the speed building thing to make it faster. Overall, HMB was put in a rough spot because they used all their building material to try to cut us off, and all they did was touch our flank flags, and we did manage to hold these things pretty nicely, making it just a hard job for HMB to drop us. And then HMB also dropped two towers, which we destroyed, and I only say that to mention that they had been they wasted basically two towers that they could have maybe used to actually have reached their village and maybe have beaten us through mid to actually cut them off and all that kind of stuff, right? So overall, I think that HMB put themselves in a rough situation, and I think that it's kind of a learning experience. Like, at the time, I understood their move, but then I also saw how it kind of harmed them more than it helped them by miles. But it was still a good fight. They put up a pretty good fight. We put up a pretty good fight. It was interesting. Arkham helped a bit on the field. Pretty nice of them. They would march all the way over here to help us maybe on the village a bit. AC18 helped as well. And yeah, I mean, we kind of went through mid, and I'll give like the gist, the story. So we came around, we wrapped in front of this outpost, and by the time we did, HMB had finally started building, and I don't know, they kind of started building up here, and the thing is, Nam had been offline, and I'm going to say this real quick, guys. I don't like being the person who has to build, right? Like, I don't like being the person who has to build, as I know that in Boone, I feel like there's more responsibility with each build drop, and if I make a mistake, it's on me. And I used to be pretty confident in my builds, and I know I'm not like stupid with them, but I was basically trying to counter build them without cutting them off completely. So I started building in a way that AC18 could slip through, because they were taking a while to get down here. They didn't have like a lot of members at the time. I think they only registered with like 80 or something like that. So overall, it was kind of hard for me. And HMB basically were down here, and we were connected to, I would like to say, 10 to maybe even 20 towers, making it really hard for not us to fill the towers, but to have proper garrison captains in each one of these towers, just making it really rough on the teams. So we were struggling over here, and HMB, I think we started doing this thing where we would bunny hop back and forth, because they had a lot of towers over here that they had to man down, and our big guys would come down here. They would try to swarm down towers that had a weak garrison captain. They'd pull back. They'd keep doing the same thing and back and forth, and it would just force people to keep porting back and forth and split their forces. And eventually, we managed to actually build up to one of their towers over here, and we cut them off. And when we cut them off, AC18 finally had broken through, finally had kind of made their way over here, which was a little bit too late, but we did manage to cut them off. It was really interesting because we cut their tower, we took field control, and it was a really hard one because we we were getting poked around on, and you guys will eventually see it in the videos, but we managed to cut them off, and we had to actually speed destroy some of their towers because they reconnected the link, and they were trying to reconnect the link, and we had to speed destroy some of the other towers to make sure that they couldn't get that down or get that done, because we wanted to make sure we took advantage of the situation and kept pushing. And that's what we ended up doing. We ended up cutting their towers off on our flank, and we ended up just locking them in on their village area. That being said, it was kind of hard to fight for their village. We didn't actually want to take their village because we found it was kind of pointless, right? It was kind of pointless to take their village. It was a waste of energy, and although the trades were better on it, it was just too hard to hold the field. And although even if we were trading good, which we traded really good in two of our village fights, it just wasn't worth trying to fight over the village. And we just decided, like, they're still 7th place anyways. They were 8th place at the time, even with the village, because I guess they just dropped ranks. Because, like, if you guys don't know, actually, no, I think they took their village last. Yeah, that's why. So they actually ranked 8th. And overall, it just made it really hard for them to do much. So we locked them in. And, we kind of stopped them from jailbreaking by linking up here. But they, in the last 3 hours, tried to go for TBZ. We knocked off. We kind of actually pushed them on their flank, right? Or we pushed them over here. We pushed their towers. We were kind of creating pressure. We started fighting for their village to force them to not really fight there. And, TBZ barely held on with one more tower. They almost broke through, but it was too late for HMB. They had their quick build on. It was very close, though. This was a very close one, and TBZ luckily managed to hold on. It was honestly a really good fight, so GG to HMB. I had fun. I think that Boone did a really good job. I think our allies as well for trying their best to, support. But that was it. That was it to the bracket. And we'll look at G2. I don't know about G2 much. You guys can look at the whole setup here. There wasn't really a lot that happened in G2. I think this bracket was pretty less eventful. Nobody really probably wanted to fight. It was just no point. And yeah, G3, I think it was kind of the same. I think we expected something big here, and there were like good alliances that could have been massive. And the thing is, I think too many alliances folded early. From what I heard, like Fox or something had decided to just stop fighting and that kind of stuff. And I was like, why, man? Like, why did everybody just give up so soon? And it just, this bracket kind of ended way too early. And I thought it was going to be some insane fight. I thought it was going to be very fun, but I was let down. G4 was a bit more interesting, so I do want to note that this is Loves in the past. They changed their tag, and I had noticed this too late, but they have on their alliance board that DHX as well as HAO are basically permanent enemies, and I'm actually confused why 97KO is put on their enemy board, as I assumed that 97KO was helping them, Hostile Alliance, right? Like, I swear these guys were helping, because they started gunning for HAO, and HAO actually had to detour from helping DHX on the left side, and actually went for 97's village, took it from them and stuff. So I'm very confused on how this worked. But basically, DHX built up to the level 7. Loves, or K and Q's, I don't know why they changed their name, I actually hate this name, had basically built and blocked them, and they were kind of holding them in over here. And I think that the thing is, K and Q's has just more T6 players, they have more whales, and even if like the alliances are more balanced on might, they can just do more and they could spread in more towers. But HAO ended up coming over to help, and then being able to put pressure on the flank kind of made it really hard for K and Q's to really do much, as they were spreading their forces into 2 areas. And overall, it just made it hard for them to defend, and I guess they eventually got pushed back to helipad. And this was probably the power couple ally right there. I'm assuming that HSU was with them or something, but probably didn't really assist much. That, or they just had a agreement to be neutral. I don't know. But either way, that was a pretty strong alliance. I saw if those two came together, which was more likely since they did ally in their previous island, that they could overwhelm this alliance, as just there were too many numbers. They couldn't really do much there. The rest of these brackets, I don't really think I'll know a lot. G5 kind of looks interesting. It looks like Grow kind of dominated here. I saw some of the tower trades. RCCO also, it seems like Grow and RCCO kind of had an agreement, which I don't blame them. They're both pretty strong alliances. Might as well just make agreements with each other. And Soft, which is So Up in the past, is actually I guess from what I saw, I actually saw tower fights between sorry, not BT, Grow, and I saw them between Soft. So I don't know if they ended up making an agreement to actually remain friendly or something, but yeah, I guess these three ended up having an agreement, and that's how the island kind of turned out. And A and CI could just also enjoy. So it looks like it might have been a four-way. Don't really know too much about that one. G6. This one, I think this was a really peaceful island actually for the most part. Not a lot of fighting. RPG, I expected them to actually go for NWO. I guess NWO just enjoyed their outpost. FX3 enjoyed helipad. Same with MGM, just enjoyed their helipad in their village. Spec, I guess they kind of got cut off and they just went around and kind of stole these. And it's kind of the same with Arain, who I think Arain got second place. RPG got first, and maybe NWO got third. But either way, that is how that one went. Honestly, don't know a lot about these brackets. Okay. I saw this bracket. Okay, so it looked like TLS, and you had 42 MP. I don't think they did a lot of the fighting, but 42 did hold kind of a side here. But TLS was holding on multiple sides. It looked like they were getting sieged from 3 to 4 angles at a time by like multiple alliances. And from what I saw, I actually saw an alliance get backstabbed. I'm not sure what exactly happened, but I saw D-Day get cut off. I think it was, or someone got cut off, and they just got their player zeroed by the alliance they were previously fighting with. So I'm so confused. Like, I'm so confused how the whole bracket went down, but it was interesting. It looks like Chev maybe agreed to destroy their towers as they just don't have towers up here anymore. But I don't know, man. This was kind of a crazy bracket. I only saw the near end of it, but freaking TLS was doing their best to hang on. You know, they had their all around helipad. I think that they could have lost if maybe God W actually went for their flank. You know, I think that's like could have been the best strategy, because I think instead of focusing on one area together, it's kind of better to spread them into two areas, kind of make it impossible for their Wales players to all be in one place. You know, kind of force just their players to be porting back and forth if they really want to assist. G8, don't really know much about here. I know DBN probably dominated. Yeah, they were like the big alliance in this bracket. Looks like they let SLF keep their village. I mean, yeah, from what I heard, SLF was going to get, like, kind of pressured. But I guess SLF were good sports in the bracket, from what I heard. So, everybody was friendly. At least I'm hoping. But DBN, yeah, just dominant force here. Honestly expected that. They're just the big alliance in this bracket. Literally nothing anybody could probably do there. G9, same situation. I don't really know much here. It looks like some of the newer alliances, the newer Wales here. And it looks like everybody was mostly friendly. What the heck? So only GOGT kind of got pressured. Pear had the really strong big man over here. And I want to note this guy was 500 million. He just deleted his troops yesterday. If anybody has the balls to delete 400 million might worth of troops in the and if you're watching this video and you're that type of guy, tell me if you're Chad like that, okay? Because that is crazy to me that he just deleted them. If you're gonna delete them, at least go for tower fights this island, right? You get some kills, maybe just swarm towers all island. I don't know. That's crazy to me that you just delete 400 million of troops and get your base raided. But yeah, this island looked like it was mostly peaceful. I guess people just made agreements and everybody was, I guess, friendly. I don't know. It just looks like that. G10, last bracket I'm going to look at, as I don't know anything. It looks kind of the same, honestly. It looks like only Pot kind of got the rough end of it, and it looks like everybody else was friendly. Maybe JKR won also, but yeah, I don't know, man. I don't know. This bracket looks just interesting. It looks kind of weird. It looks so weird. Everybody was just trading off their villages, and I guess two alliances became the target and the punching bag of the bracket. Maybe they fought a bit and they came to agreements. I don't know. You guys, tell me if you guys think this video just was stupid and if I was blabbering. But if you guys liked it, do let me know in the comments if you guys want to see more of these. And I do appreciate you guys though for watching as always. And I'll see you guys in the next one. And that is it. Peace.